Um, I do think they would probably start off with their higher priced vehicles and include this technology in it. This is a big problem, just as sort of an aside. This is a big problem with Tesla right now with their 3X and S. The S and the X feel quite outdated. The 3 has all the new tech. It's got the 250 kilowatt charge rate. It's got the new HVAC system. It's got a lot of this new technology. The S and the X don't have that, and so sort of wonder if they're just sort of chomping at the bit. Tesla is to incorporate some of this, some of the DBE tech, some of the ultra caps into Model S and X and truck and Roadster, to be able to make that distinction a little bit more clear. Because right now it's just a price difference. I think that you're getting less of a vehicle in many ways, aside from range, when you buy S and X.
Yeah. And I'm so with you. I'm equally torn. It's like, are they sunsetting those vehicles, or are they just being very coy about slowly upgrading them?
Well, it's the sales for S and X have been down consistently for many, many months, many quarters.
Well, it's basically
Um,
Model 3. Model 3 took off. S and X go from, 50,000 each a year to, 20 to 30% lower than that. Seems
Absolutely. I mean, and so I'm of the opinion that there are definitely people who there's definitely a market for S and X, right? I look at it as someone who's got a family. I look at the 3 and I'm like, it's not really that big. I would prefer something bigger, more storage, more leg room. And so S and X, there still is a premium market for that. There's a reason why these other automakers sell premium vehicles still, even though it's not super high volume. There definitely is a market for it. I just think that Tesla needs to. I think that the sales of the S and X are indicative of people wanting something more and something new in the S and X. And I really do hope that, the range piece is interesting. I know Elon Musk said recently that they've got a 400 plus mile range battery pack coming out, and we'll probably hear more about that at the event next year for the battery and drivetrain thing. But I don't think it could come soon enough. I really would love to see them refresh the S and X sooner rather than later.
Yeah. I mean, part of me is thinking like more and more, and I don't want to think this, but it's just like their entire focus is on the 3 and the Y and autonomy. And that's just going to make so much more money for them and be such a bigger driver of the climate issue that's just a way better use of resources for the company. And that is what it is. But, you
In
know,
terms of volume, though, I think that, yeah, in terms of volume, I think you're right with the Model 3 and the Model Y. But the nice thing with S and X that you can do is you can test out the expensive tech, right? The sort of innovative, expensive tech that needs to eventually be driven down price wise. You can afford to do that with the more expensive cars because ideally you're making more money on those.
mhm. And they were the profit driver for Tesla. So I think unless they can really nail the Model 3 thing, that's really what comes down to me. It's like if they can get the Model 3 manufacturing a little bit better and a little more profitable and they get Model Y off the ground, then we won't need any of that. Like the profits from that will dwarf what's happening with the S and X.